All right. It looks like we are. Yep.
Yes, we are.
All right. Let me make sure I take us off of Facebook on here. All right. So here. This is episode 3 of Ebony and Ivory's on spiritual growth. Super excited. My Ebony and Ivory guest, Megan Marie, is here with me.
Post.
Okay, there you go. All right, super excited. We're going to get started here in just a moment. We're talking about spiritual growth. So if there is anything that you want to ask it in the chat. I actually will have that up so that we can be looking at that a little bit. We're not going to be staring at it though, so don't even get twisted, but we'll kind of keep our eye on it. All right, because we're going to be talking about spiritual growth. So, Megan, how was your day today?
My week has been long. It's been long this week.
I thought so too, but I thought it was just me.
No, actually, it's kind of funny. My office closed down early today, and
Nice.
yeah, but we closed down early now on Thursdays, and like everyone was leaving today, and because we're not used to leaving early, you know, everyone was like, "Bye, have a good weekend," and we're all like, "No,
Gonna come back tomorrow.
I'll be back tomorrow." So it'll be interesting to see if some people forget that.
That's so funny. You think about it, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's so real.
People called out other people on it. They were like, no. And then of course, like I'm leaving and they're like, bye, have a good weekend. And I was like, no, I'm going to be here tomorrow.
I'm like, are you not here? Are you off? I know. I actually had a meeting today. So it was a lunch meeting. So it was really good, which I was really shocked because typically, you know, when you go to those meetings, the food is usually not good. Yeah. But this one, the food was so good. I was shocked because, you know, I think the reason why they don't make it good is because people go to sleep. You'll get that itis.
Yeah.
So, but today it was really good. And it was like an Italian restaurant. And so I think they had like a chicken parmigiana. It was really good. Fruits and, you know, all kinds of things, cheese and whatnot. I was like, wow. And the dessert was even really good, you know? Yeah, so it's been cool.
I'll have to come back here and make you lasagna because I make the best lasagna.
Oh, okay. Well, I have to have some of that. You know, you'll have to throw some in the mail or something. Hey, Joanna, thank you for joining. And Melissa, thank y'all for joining. So we are talking today.
Still not streaming on my feed.
I don't know why. You got a strange feed. But you know what else? Mercury retrograde.
That is very true.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna send it to you this way and see if maybe I copied the link. See if maybe you can click on it and it'll go there.
Tag me in the top of it because I see it live on you, but I'm not tagged in the top of it. So I don't know if maybe that's why.
I don't know if it can do that. We'll have to see. Because you know, Facebook has changed. There's so many things you can't do no more that we used to do.
Well, you know me, I'm just learning tech, so.
Okay. All right. That's not gonna happen right now. You can send it over there. Yeah, because even when I tried to share it, wait, maybe I'll share it in Messenger. Maybe that'll work for you. Okay, I send it to you, share it to you in Messenger. Maybe you can go to Messenger and click on it and open it like that. All right.
It's the second people.
Now y'all going. All right.
Yeah, we're moving it. I hope.
Y'all gonna make Facebook mad with that stuff. I'm not playing games like that. I ain't trying to be in jail. As you know, Facebook puts you in jail for anything. That's why I hadn't had my music on right now, because I normally, my lives, I like to play music, but Facebook be messing with people so bad for music, especially even the one that they have. Like if you do your reel and they have music in there that you can pick from, they're messing with people about that. Facebook be messing with people so bad for music. Now that's too much feedback, right? You got to turn it down.
I know. Hold on.
Like your sound. They're messing with people about that.
Hold on, it's posting.
Now that's too much feedback.
I know. Is that better?
Yeah, because otherwise it's going back and forth. I'm listening to myself talk, and that's just not cool. Like behind, like in the past. Yeah. So when you share it out, turn it down on your phone. Like I have it up so I can watch comments, but just turn your sound down, because it gives you, girl, that thing is horrible. That feedback is. Ugh.
But yeah, Mercury retrograde's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has been so much fun. Let's talk about it. Mercury retrograde affects communications and electronics, and that's just not a good combination. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't stand firm on that stuff. I mean, I'm going to live my life. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. No,
I
don't.
To me, it's an awareness.
Do this or kind of do this. I really focus on the retrograde aspect of what a lot of people, it's refocus. It's kind of, it's a refocus time. It's,
I agree.
Slow down, period. It's kind of look over the last, because it happens 4 times a year. So it's like you kind of reanalyze the last 3 months. How are things going? What are things doing? It's analyzing yourself, but it doesn't mean your whole world's going to fall apart. It doesn't mean
I agree.
Everything. And it's, like these little errors because of, Mercury, people. And I do think that I laugh on when people are like, yeah, that stuff's not real. And I'm like, well, you know what, Mercury with electronics and how all that stuff kind of runs. Well, Mercury's kind of closer to the earth right now. So that's kind of why there's those kind of problems. So scientifically, it's kind of proven.
But you know what? You can think what you want is what I say. When they say that, I say, hey, it's on you. Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah, but I'm going to be I'm not going to get upset as they are, because I'm like,
I don't care.
Mercury retrograde right now. I'm okay.
It's okay. And then the thing is too, is what I'm learning is the more that you embody the abundance. And I always have to qualify that when I say that, because people are thinking, I'm talking about all this money, and money is wonderful. I love money. I mean, nothing wrong with money, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about abundance in a way that that everything is taken care of for you in every way for you. That.
Well, I think people
feel that you embody it.
There's, I think people concentrate too much on the materialistic part of the abundance, but what about the intellectual? Because we have spiritual bank accounts. You have your mind bank account, and you have your physical account. And if all of those aren't balanced, and you're wondering why there's a block to one, well, you got to check the other two. The whole checks and balance aspect. You've got to pay attention. So where's your mind?
Right.
Faith. And your abundance isn't going to come if one of those two are out of line, because it's kind of like they flow. Right.
It's like you got to work with them, and you got to know that is what it is. Because the thing is so many people are so focused on what's the buzzword now? 10K months. 10K months. So many people are focused on 10K months or 5-figure months or 6-figure, whatever the fuck.
10K month.
Right. To have a 10K month. If you're not, you're just not qualified for anything. 10K month. But the thing is you got to be abundant, and you have to feel it in every area, like you said. Every area, you got to really embody it and make sure that it is in you. So it's like you know what I mean? So it's like you walk in it. I say every day, and this is how I feel about myself, that I'm a walking prayer. Why? Because I pray all the damn time. I do with the Christ consciousness. I pray without ceasing. I do. And I believe that I'm a walking prayer, but I had to begin to embody that. I had to know that, and so as I'm knowing that, I am that, right? It's the same
Exactly.
with abundance. As
But
you
I think it
begin
also
to
is more than that.
embody,
I think it's more than that too. And
for sure.
it was explained to me kind of in a perfect, it was kind of like, wow, that's a really great way. But like with abundance, everyone's all focused on, the law of attraction, the law of attraction. Well,
There's a lot of other laws.
You put it out there, but how do you get it back? How? And it was explained to me by this guy one time, and he was like, it's the boomerang.
Yeah.
But what's the boomerang that makes it come back? That's the law of emotion. You got to believe it. You got to feel it. It's great to put it out there, but how are you drawing that back into you? You got to have that emotion. You got to feel it. You got to embody it. You got to embrace it.
And you're using gratitude as well, because gratitude is a currency.
It's a massive currency. God doesn't care about material wealth. God does not. What does God, universe, spirit, whatever you call it, what does he do with material wealth? Nothing. But it's an energy.
Well, to be honest with you, he does a lot, because God is you.
Well, that's true, but I mean,
and that's the other thing. Once you embody the fact that God is you, it's you inside, in your heart. That's where God lives, not somebody way out there, some deity in the sky. None of that shit.
Yeah,
God is you.
I think that's a hard concept for people, because we are at a young age, we are taught that he is this,
we're indoctrinated.
Into the sky and everything like that, and it's that separation.
Yes,
that many things don't happen.
Yes, that is it. And to me, that's the spiritual growth.
Yeah,
knowing that the separation is not there, and because especially I know, like in a lot of religions, I'm gonna call out like Catholicism for sure.
Mm-hmm.
God is way up in the sky somewhere, and you got all these different patron saints and all these things, but they don't, you're not embodying who God is inside of you in order to be able to call forth the things that you want to and that you desire. And like I said, and that includes so many things. Mm-hmm. It's not just, whatever, it's so many different things. You got the spirit part, just like you said. You got, abundance in your mental health for sure. Because people sure need that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like we need that. It needs to show up for us. But exactly,
mental health. Where you are mentally really kind of determines everything, and whether you can embrace or even to grasp the spiritual side of things and to have your mind open. I have a song every morning that I listen to. Oh, do I have the? No, I don't. I have a song that I listen to every morning. It's Jason Mraz's "I Am Yours."
Oh, yes.
I do a floor exercise. I do an embodiment exercise every morning with this song. But if people like truly listen to the words of the song, it's open up your mind and you shall be free. See like me, and it's all about being God conscious. It's being all about aware and letting go of your expectations. Just like we were talking about last week, those earthly tethers. It's letting go of all of that. And, I do my little floor exercise every morning, just like laughing, like so thankful that I've opened up my mind and I'm free now, that's like my happy go-to song.
That was one of, I was in school there at South University, and I was taking a speech class, I think it was. And so we all had to get with a partner and then find out what their favorite song was, and then tell a story about them and their favorite song or something. Yeah. It was pretty neat. And that was my partner's favorite song. And that's how I learned it, because I had to listen to it over and over and over so I could get what moved her about the song, share something, and she shared with me and I shared with her, and, it was pretty neat. And that was my introduction to that song. I heard it over and over and over.
I actually have every day. I listen to it multiple times a day, but that song, like remember like the old vision boards and stuff like that. I have a video montage of like, you know, with me and my kids, you know, my dream, like my dream car, I want a Taycan Porsche. It's like my baby, like, you know, like my dream house and, you know, what it is that I want out of life. And I'm saying it of like what I want. And like, I have all these pictures, you know, going across it, and that song's playing in the background.
Nice. Nice. I like that. That is so nice. So let's talk about the importance of vision boards or visioning or having a vision.
I mean, if you don't have
on
a
this
vision,
journey.
and you know, when I was a kid, I had visions of getting the hell out. You know, that was, and I didn't care how. And you know, I wasn't clear on that. And guess what? I got out. I didn't get better. But I got out. And even, you know, like through like my marriage and like when that was all ending and like going through my divorce, you know, I realized I have not been able to see a future in so many years, like a dream. Like I realized I even stopped during the whole time of my marriage, I stopped dreaming.
Yes.
I didn't even dream, you know, and you know, we talk about it so many times with like listening to your body. My body told me so many times that I was not in a good, healthy situation and stuff like that. But it was my environment. I wasn't aware, you know, it was what I was accustomed to. It was what I was used to. So, you know, I was just mundane, you know, doing it every day onto it. But I've so now embraced that aspect of, yeah, you gotta have a vision. You know, I kind of laughed at a few people. They showed me like some pictures in their house one day, and they're like, dude, I have it, you know, like a friend of mine has like how much money they want to write. I mean, how much money they want to make. It is written everywhere. It is, you know, different goals and stuff like that. And so I've done that. Like I have my vision boards now of like some trips I want to take and stuff like that. I have those all printed out, and my goals of, you know, my business and everything like that. It's a constant reminder. You gotta build that. So what are you building in your head? Because if you aren't building anything in your head, living in your imagination, then how can you expect anything to happen to your reality?
Yes.
And
exactly.
we forget about that.
Yes, I truly believe that. I just was thinking just now, even the Bible says without a vision, the people perish.
Yeah, and you
So
do.
if you don't have a vision, and I think about that from this point, you don't have a vision, then to me, it feels like you feel trapped. Because
and
you think that
I was trapped. That's
I was gonna say, you think there's nowhere else to go, nothing to do, because you can't see anything. And that, to me, that is like the major time of a blockage, right? Is like when you're in this place and you feel trapped, and you know, and you feel like I can't go anywhere else. So why would I even dream or think about anything? I'd seen it like in a movie one time where it was a young kid, and he said, it was the one about Katrina. He was a young boy, like he probably was about 12 maybe. He said, I was born here and I'm gonna die here. And I thought, that means at 12, you have no vision. No vision. You have no dreams.
None.
12. Yeah. And so many people are like that. So many people live their life like that.
Well, I think, you know, and the sad part too about that is that, and I like how we kind of, you know, sometimes bring back Walt Disney, but Walt Disney was a brilliant man.
He was a genius.
A genius. And you look at a lot of the movies and it's like, we really need to take lessons on some of these movies, but you know, that's Hook, Peter Pan, you know, we forgot our imagination. We forgot how to be children. And as a society, when you hear people like adults sit there and talk about these fantasies or these visions and stuff, we start judging. We start, you're 40 years old. Why are you talking like that? You know, why does it have to be that way?
Look, that ship has sailed, right?
Yeah, you know, no, it hasn't, you know, we're still so young. We're still so energized and stuff. But I think we get trapped into that mindset of society standards of, okay, well, you're 40, so you should be married, you should have your house, you should have your car. Okay, that's the government matrix telling you need to be locked down. That's like your
now you're talking about my movies.
But you know, that's how it is. It's like, you know,
woo. Thank you.
What?
Just got an idea. We're gonna write it down.
Oh, what you get?
I'm not gonna share it in public.
But but we have to stop thinking like that, because of the fact of the matter is we are all children. We are kids. So
Yes.
why are we limiting ourselves?
Because that is how we were taught. That is how we were raised. We were taught, because the thing is we talked about this, once you get, 6 or 7, your gifts, that's when they start going away, because that's when people start telling you shit like, you got an imaginary friend. I mean, you're not talking to nobody.
Yeah.
My daughter used to have whole ass conversations with her. She had 2 when they were sisters.
My oldest son, he had an imaginary friend, Josh. I had many sleepless nights because he would be sitting there talking about this person and these adventures that they had. And I literally thought someone was coming in his window at night and taking my kid out of the house.
Okay. So hers actually, their daddy was a minister, and he was doing missionary work. And so they actually ended up going to Africa. I mean, it was a whole ass story behind it. Same thing. You would have thought that these people were coming in her bedroom and they were having parties or whatever, because they had a whole ass story. But what adults do, stop doing that. You ain't got no imaginary friends. Don't be talking to people you can't see or don't know or whatever. Just craziness. And if you think about it, if you're talking to spirit, and I mean, how many times do you see spirit?
Yeah, I see it quite a bit.
Well, regular people, so it's like
I get the glimpses out of my eyes all the time, like, oh, hi.
Yeah, hey, what's going on with you? How's everything going?
We're good.
Right. Right. Yeah, you thought you was, but yeah, you think about that, and people beat the kids down and stuff, and next thing you know, their intuition goes and all that stuff. It gets sat on the sidelines for a lot of time. And this is what we told them, instead of allowing the children to grow in their intuition and trust, their gifts and stuff, because children are so damn gifted. It's scary sometimes.
I had that conversation actually with a friend the other day about how that, everyone, like, the reality of it is, like, we're not special,
No.
I mean, we are, but we are not special because of the fact that everyone has these gifts.
Yes,
Everyone
we all have them.
It's just whether or not your mind is open enough to receive it.
Right.
Some people are more in tune to it. Some people are, more gifted onto it. But the fact of the matter is we all have the capability.
Yeah.
We all have the gifts. No one is more special or anything.
It's in all of us.
Communicate with everyone.
Yes.
But
now you may have one that's more dominant in the beginning than the others, like one that you've known, like a lot of people are claircognizant. They just know shit.
Yeah, that's me.
And that may be something that they just know. They don't even know how they know it. It just pops in their head and they know it. And the thing about that is trusting it. That is the thing, right?
Don't know when it's gonna happen. Like, but you'll get, like with me, I'll just get a sense of something, and then like a vision will like pop into my head. So I have no clue what it necessarily means at that time or anything like that, and I still even have things that have happened a few years ago that like, I still like remember that, but I still have, even though nothing has happened related to it yet, I still have that feeling inside of me, like it's gonna happen. It's
right. And how do you deal with that?
I just meditate and I just ask for when the time is right, because everything is divine timing to show me. And I look at it that whatever the vision kind of is that kind of comes along with it, it's being given to me as like a prelude to help me emotionally deal with whatever the process is. Like, I already have a glimpse. So like, I'm necessarily kind of already thinking about it, because, when you do get these things, it's kind of like you overthink it. Like, what does that mean? And especially when it involves other people, you're like, and then the worst is when you get them and you have no clue who the people are.
Yes. Yes, that part.
okay. And I've had,
And what you want me to do with this is what I say. And what you want me to do with this?
And then
I don't know them people.
Deja vus, where it's like, oh, why is this? And then it's like, I'll remember that vision like I had like a while ago. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
This is it. All right, what's going to happen?
What kind of magical thing is happening for me today?
Yeah. I embrace it. I think it used to scare me.
Yeah.
On it because of the fact that, it was just and frustrating, to be truthful too, of, like, why is it that I know this? Like, why is it that I do, but I have no control over it. I have, it's just there.
Because it's a gift.
It's the gift, and that's the faith of, there's a reason for it. There's a reason that it's happening onto it.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to trust those gifts when especially if they know they have them? Like for me, I've been clairaudient forever. I could hear spirit forever. Since I was a child, I can remember that. And a lot of people have those type of gifts, the claircognizant, clairvoyance, the clairsentient, all of that, clairalience, whatever. They have those gifts, but they don't trust them. So why is it that you think they don't trust?
I think it's codependency. I think it comes down to that it gets closed off because when you try to talk to loved ones about it, especially when you're young and you're trying to understand it,
right?
And, but they are closed off, so they don't understand it. So it's stop acting that way, stop doing that, stop doing that. And so that codependency comes on. I think a lot of people, they look at codependency and they just think drugs, alcohol,
right.
Those bad habits, but
like domestic, yeah.
Complete emotional, verbal, mental, emotional, and it can be abuse. It doesn't always have to necessarily be abuse, but it's an irregulated nervous system, aspect. But it's okay, well, they're going to be mad at me if I talk about this stuff. So therefore I can't acknowledge or talk about this because I don't want them mad at me. So now they become codependent of I can't talk about this because these people are going to not like me, or I can't mention it. And it's us again putting those masks on people instead of honoring these gifts, instead of doing that. But it comes down to, I think, of the society of just being kind of closed off on that. And we're so used to just kind of everyone, well, you act this way over here and then you'll get the attention you want. No, act over here. This is how you get. But
this is what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you do. And so I think that closes people off because kids want to talk to someone about it.
I agree.
They want to talk, like, we've talked about, my son before, seeing dead people. Where, we were looking for a grave one time and couldn't find it. And my son was like, he's by the flag post. And sure enough, the grave was right behind the flag post, overgrown. There was grass all over it. We had to tear back the grass and stuff like that onto it. But because he was judged, even though like I myself was like, this is cool as crap.
Right.
And I encouraged it. He closed himself off to that because of, well, he couldn't talk to other people about it. So he doesn't have that gift anymore. That's been closed off because of the fact that other people's judgments came upon him and he didn't accept that as a gift. It was I'm crazy, or something's wrong with me type aspect. So he stopped talking about it. He stopped kind of believing in it. He may have even have asked God to stop it. And
I did.
Yeah. So, you don't know, but I think it comes down to all of that. It comes down to wanting acceptance from other people, and just people who aren't open to it, close it off.
Yep. I agree with that. It's like people want validation for the gift.
Outside validation.
Yes. They don't, they don't want to accept the internal validation that is there for them, but they want outside, because we're human. We see the Long Island Medium or whatever, and we look at what is her name that was in the show, Medium.
Oh yeah.
Touched by an Angel even. You know, we want those experiences. You know, we want the ones where they're saying, oh, wow, you know, yeah, look at her, you know, even down to some people, even I think Bewitched. And what's her name?
I started watching
Jeannie.
that TV show again.
Jeannie, you know.
I love that show. That was my favorite show as a little kid. And have you watched that lately? Bewitched?
Jeannie?
No, Bewitched.
I saw a show in like maybe 6 months or so. It was on Hulu or somewhere. I don't remember.
Well, it's
Yeah.
on Roku or whatever that is and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You
yeah,
can see
yeah.
all the episodes on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I've gone back and I'm watching it again, and I'm thinking, like, how cool was this as a kid that I watched this TV show, and it was my favorite TV show. And the things that they talk about in that show of all of, you know, the humans, the mortals, and all those things. And where am I in life right now? And it is like, but like one of the things I am doing is like, what happened that I stopped watching that show?
Right.
What
You
what
grew up.
What?
You grew up, right?
You know, but in the dynamic that I grew up in, it probably wasn't that. It was probably I believed in it so much, and probably things were positive happening for me, and that wasn't allowed in my environment. You weren't allowed to have things happen for you or to you good into it, and so I was probably shut off from it.
Right.
You know, that's the reality in my life onto it. It's not that I grew up, because I've always had, you know, those inclinations of all those different things within me. But yeah, as a kid. So yeah, I was probably shut off.
And I wasn't saying it in that way. I meant grew up as far as, you know, just like we were talking with the kids.
Oh.
You know, people are like, well, why are you paying attention to all that stuff? You know, that ain't real, blah, 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 you know, all that kind of stuff. That's what I mean. Because a lot of people have that experience. You know, that's kind of what does that for them. You know, you got people that are like, you know, that's not real. Why are you watching that? Blah, 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 blah. And all these other kind of things that people say to kids when they are in those spaces.
Yeah. No, it probably was onto that. You know, unfortunately, the abuse takes over a lot of those type of memories. I don't have access to that type of stuff.
I understand all of that completely, my love. I understand it. All right. Well, we have been talking, and this has been an amazing show as usual. Make sure that you are watching us. We'll be back on again next week, same time, same place. What they call it? Same bat time, same bat place.
Yeah. Always.
And make sure that you are watching the spaces to see what we are up to next, because Miss Megan is preparing for some stuff, and I am also launching as well. So make sure that you are following us and watching us. It's been such a blast. This show is always good. It always comes up to, you know, whatever people need. And so we are grateful just for the opportunity to be here to provide that, and to, you know, provide this value for everyone that is looking in this direction. So Megan, you want to close us out?
Yeah, you know, we are very thankful that, you know, this idea, this inspiration came. And, you know, we've had a lot of great positive feedback from everyone. And it just truly sets of, you know, as I said, Tammy's and my intention as to what we wanted to do on this, and to be told that, you know, we're so relatable. You know, they feel like they're with us right now when we're talking. That warms both of our hearts, of like, that we're doing something right, and that it's helping someone, and being real about, you know, different things of how it really goes. Because, you know, and as I think you just said with those examples of the TV shows, I think that's how a lot of people really kind of think, who aren't aware, is how it is. And it's not. It's you know, it's not anything like that. That's the TV portraying a bad view of it in many ways.
Yes.
And so just being really real here with you guys. And so we are just so thankful. Hopefully we will get this. It will be up to Anchor.
It will.
Spotify. You can find us, search us. That was so cool. A friend of mine searched and was like, here's your house name on Spotify. And that really was, and it was really exciting onto that.
That's exciting.
It was. I was so like, I was dancing, I was shaking my booty.
I was going to say, that's what happens when you start to see, you know, your vision come into fruition.
You do, and people don't realize,
You know, it's like,
you know, laughter, dancing, you know, back to the soul, you know, being playful, being kids, being silly, you know, taking that stick out of that butt and allowing it to move. Yes.
You say, release yourself, release yourself. Oh, that she won't break my soul.
But you know, it's so
I don't know.
to get reconnected, and it's so simple of just taking the time and loving yourself, honoring yourself, your journey, your path.
Yes.
It, unconditional love, you know, if you didn't have that, you know, you
give it to yourself.
You have it, exactly. You have it within yourself, and it's a hard thing to overcome, you know. I mean, it took me 41 years to figure that out.
Let's say challenging.
Yes, it's challenging.
Yes,
it's challenging, but it's possible.
That's
just always remember the word impossible is I'm possible.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
except for my cousin, we call her Kim Possible. But yeah, I think that's fabulous.
It's the word
impossible
spells out I'm possible.
Yeah. So what that means is I'm possible.
I'm possible. Anything is possible.
Anything, exactly right.
You can believe it and you can make it your reality.
Yes. And that's really one of the things that we're here for, just to share that, you know, anything is possible, and it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter where you come from, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Right. That's all. You know, we're looking at right now and in the present time, you know, because I noticed that many people, when they're talking about healing, because I've been talking to a lot of people about healing lately, and when they're talking about healing, everybody wants to look at, you know, tomorrow, you know, I'm healed tomorrow, or I'm healed someday in the future, or next year, or whatever. And I'm like, no, that is not, no. I say, no, when we pray, you're healed right now. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not yesterday, but right now.
You know, it kind of plays, there's a lot of old sayings, which in, you know, my healing journey, that have like never really kind of made sense before, but, you know, all now kind of like, it's like, oh, that's what that meant. But, you know, that's why it's placed on the back burner, and why it all burns up. You wonder why you're tired, you're burnt out and stuff like that. Constantly focusing on something else than what's right there in front of you, which is you. Yes,
and that's the other piece too, you know, on this healing journey, people are so quick to go outside when it's time to go inside. Take some time. And, you know, the thing is, just like you said, that part is challenging. It can be challenging because we don't want to go inside.
Wow, you know, we've already been there. And that's the reality. We've already been there. We've been through it, and you don't want to go, but you have to go back. You have to go back, and you have to analyze, because you have to correct. And it's not, you can't change the past. That's not at all what I'm saying or anything like that. But what you do is you take the emotions, the behaviors, and you analyze those as to those type of situations of how you reacted into the past. And now you use the wisdom and the knowledge to strengthen yourself to handle things better. Yes. And to make that change, because nobody's going to make it but you. I mean, we can go to every guru in the city. You can go see Tony Robbins, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Matt Kahn, anybody. You can go see all these people. But if you are not willing to make that change, it's a moot point. Yeah. You can read all the books, everything like that, but until you apply it, nothing will happen. Yeah. And that's the thing. So thank y'all for joining us. This has been so fabulous. As usual, make sure that you are following us and reaching out to us, and let us know, you know, what you feel about this. And if there are any questions that you have that you want us to answer in a broadcast, that's another thing that we would love for you to put in the comments. Just let us know wherever you are watching, because this will be on YouTube as well as LinkedIn.
But let us know if there's, things you want to know about the spiritual journey, things that you want to know about spiritual growth, anything that comes to you, so we can address that, because we are loving this platform just to be able to speak truth to people and, kind of wade through some of the bullshit that happens on these apps, and let people know the real deal, because, I pride myself on being authentic, and what you see is what you get. Same way I am when you see me now is the way I am all the time, everywhere, but there are people that are not that way. And so we want to come on and spread love and make sure that people know that they can become better, that they can let go of resentments and bitterness and unforgiveness and all these low vibrational things that are keeping people sick and stuck. So
make yourself healthy.
Make yourself healthy. So again, thank y'all for joining us on Ebony and Ivory. This has been episode 3. Namaste. Thank y'all. So we will definitely see y'all again on next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right.
Bye, guys.
Love you.
Have a good night.